welcome all you awakening wonders out there. My name is Chrissy, and today I'll be giving you a prediction reading for the 7th of September. Now, all you guys yesterday, I did appreciate all your feedback. I've still got to get back to some of your comments today about my flag that tipped over by itself after I was talking about Trudeau's flag. The flag rather that was wrapping around his head in the wind. It was just so funny. You've got to go and check out that bit of visual. I'm not sure his channel, whether it was John Talks or Carl Vernon. They're all pretty funny. And as I just spoken about that, my flag fell over by itself. If anyone hasn't checked that out, maybe go look for that video. It's about 2 videos ago. I think I'm wearing pink. I wear a lot of pink. So don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. Hit those like buttons. I love your comments. I always try and get back to you. Might be a day late because we're on different time zones. A lot of you are overseas. So I'll close my eyes, we'll get started, and we'll just see what comes up. I'm getting this visual of ice skating. Now, this to me means that these global elites and these people rolling out the reset agenda, and we know who they all are, they're skating on thin ice. So it's actually showing me them on a lake, and it's like the lake is thawing, the ice is thawing. It's a very thin film. Often lakes, for example, in Canada or wherever, I think the ice must be quite thick, but it's showing me that these leaders are skating on very thin ice. So it's like if they hit the ice too hard, it could crack very easily. So this is for the people rolling out the reset agenda. They're now skating on thin ice. And that's great because we need to hear that, don't we? We want them skating on thin ice. We want the ice to crack and them to fall in the freezing cold water to wake more people up. To expose these truths. So I'm getting that they're skating on thin ice because they don't want any more people to see what's going on. Because like I keep saying, people are waking up, people are standing up, people are fighting back, people are pushing back. Oh my God, we've got more strikes today. We've got another lot of people striking today. I'm just trying to think what it was around. It was something different again today. It was childcare. Childcare workers, which are sort of like teachers these days because you have to be pretty highly qualified. Childcare workers, so a lot of the long daycare and that are closing and protesting. That's in New South Wales anyway. So now they're protesting. So we've got a lot of different areas protesting, striking. I know you guys have been sharing your comments that people are striking. I noticed, was it in the UK? There was somewhere, actually this is probably in a few different places, there's people burning their electricity bills and some of their bills. It's so brilliant. I love seeing that footage. I know you guys do too, of these people like clapping and singing around this like burning barrel, and they're all throwing in their electricity bills. See, that's even a way of fighting back too. That's a battle. That's a protest as well, right there, burning your electricity bills. Imagine if everybody just said, no, we're not paying them. What would they do? Oh, it's great. I love hearing all this stuff. So thanks for all your feedback, guys, and sharing all those things. And let's keep sharing that info. That's the kind of stuff that's safe that we can share. The guides are saying it's really good to do that because that's sort of that seed planting, and it plants that doubt in these people and helps them to wake up to the garbage they're being fed. Well, if they're watching mainstream media, we know what they're being fed. None of this. We get a little bit about the strikes because you can't really hide a big strike when the whole industry is going out. So they'll mention that lightly on TV. And that always comes back, of course, to wage rises. Never about mandates and how they sacked everybody, as we know here on my channel. So that's what's happening. There's these pushbacks and fightbacks in a lot of different ways. And it's like I said, these people waking up had to work out how they were going to fight back, because it's not easy. We know it's not easy because we all did it in the beginning and we managed to push away and like get our freedom back. But even now, like for example, with the global walkout that's being organised, they've had to look at different ways to push back, like this week where everybody's trying to use cash so that we can keep cash in our society so they can't track and trace us and follow what we're spending. So everyone's looking at different avenues of how they can sort of pushback government. And that's great. We need a variety of these things to happen, because when that happens, it throws government off. It's like I said, they're skating on thin ice now, because it's becoming, if you think about it, if you're skating on thin ice, it's pretty unpredictable. So that's what they're kind of saying. For these elites that are trying to take over our lives, as we know, people are becoming unpredictable. Oh, we know they're unpredictable. God, if you're if you're in front of them and their pain body rises up, that's pretty unpredictable. All the anger that's going to be coming out, and the venom and the spew. Like I said, the volcanic eruptions of the people waking up. Steer clear. I keep saying that. So that's what I'm getting. It's becoming too unpredictable, skating on thin ice, because you could fall over or fall through the ice at any minute. And that's what's happening with these global leaders. It's all becoming unpredictable, because these little fight backs are popping up everywhere. Like I said, there's all these little like subgroups that people are coming together, and they're fighting in all different ways. And see, this is what these reset rollout monsters weren't prepared for. They didn't know how the people would react. I mean, you can do experiments on mice and things like that, which they probably didn't even do around the jab, but, well, very small scale. But you don't know how human beings are going to react, and everybody's an individual. So this is what's happening at the moment. It's like, it's showing me one of those, it's like if you go to one of those playhouses, like a kid's, what do you call them, where you go to those like fun places, like a fun parlor, and they have all different games. They have pinball machines, and they have like basketball hoop games, and it's all like a big gaming center. And it's showing me the one where things pop up. They used to have them at Chuck E. Cheese's or something like that, and you'd have a hammer and you'd hit the little things that pop up through the, like, it was like a big Swiss cheese, and like something would pop up here, and you'd go to hit it, but then it'd pop up over here, and then you try and hit it. So they're games, but this is what I'm getting, the visual for the global leaders now. People are popping up over here in Netherlands, then people are popping over here in Australia, then people are popping up over here in like Quebec. You're standing up soon, and the government's trying to squash them with their hammer, like that game, but they're not able to get any of them, because people are popping up, then they're popping down, then they're popping up, then they're popping down. You know, that's probably what it was, some mouse in the cheese image I'm getting at. But it's like, it's a game, like, and they're trying to squash, well, we know they're trying to squash everybody, but they're trying to squash, but the people are too clever now. They sort of pop up, and then they duck down, and then someone else pops up, and then they duck down. This is what's throwing these global leaders off. It's becoming unpredictable, because you don't know who's going to pop up and rise next. So it's like I've always been saying, I guess it's that similar analogy to the spot fires. They can keep trying to put out spot fires, but there's still always this simmering fire within a big log that can reignite everything again. So that's what's happening. Even though people are popping up and then they're ducking down and someone else pops up, this is globally, different movements, truth movements, it's all still under the surface, simmering and expanding. So that's what I'm getting. I'm getting that image of the government still trying to put out, you know, the people that are standing up, they're still trying to squash them. And we know it gets zero media coverage, as we know, unless we all share it and it's on YouTube or something like that. But it is growing, and that's all we need to know, is that this is expanding and there's more people collectively coming together. Like I said, they're in groups now. They're all these like truth movements, people just fighting back. Gosh, I'm surprised they're doing it. They're interviewing people here on TV. We just had another interest rate rise yesterday. It's about the 5th one. And these people are wrecked. They're exhausted. And they even saying they can't make their house repayments if it goes up anymore, which it will, as we know, because it's going to continue until they take everybody down to nothingness and zero. And people are just saying now, like, if this will tip them over the edge. And we know that's where it's headed. The sad thing is a lot of the people that they interview don't know where it's headed, and they probably think it's going to stop, but as we all know here, it's not going to stop. So fortunately for all of you guys on my channel, we were prepared and we've seen all this coming, and we could sort of do our homework. When it's that forewarned is forearmed, isn't it? Because we always have like our sword and shield. I always talk about that. We're always ready to fight, but then we always protect ourselves as well. as the Bravehearts. Oh, God. There's an image with the face paint and everything, isn't it, with Mel Gibson? I do laugh at that sometimes. It is pretty funny. It really is. They actually had a football game here on the weekend. We're in the sort of semi-final stages of the NRL, and the Knights is one of the teams is called the Knights, the Newcastle Knights, and they pan around the crowd, and there's all these people like with their face painted like Mel Gibson, like Bravehearts, diehard fans. I do laugh every time I see it, and they scan around the crowd. There's all these like Braveheart face paints. Maybe that's a synchronicity too that I was meant to see, but they're all like painted like Bravehearts, like Mel Gibson. It's pretty funny just sitting in the crowd at the football. So they're popping up everywhere, see? Even at the football. Oh, dear. So that's what I'm getting. And I did talk about that yesterday, that these people who are having these fight backs and they're kind of preparing for battle. And they are. They're still doing a lot of the prep work. I don't think we've even seen the half of what's about to unfold in September. I keep saying September. It might even roll into October as well. But there's a lot of preparation going on behind the scenes for these global... It's so good, isn't it? These global uprisings. Oh, imagine us just up in the grandstands. We'd just be cheering. We'd have our pom-poms and we'd be cheering. Oh, God. I'm just seeing us all as like cheerleaders and all this. Oh, my God, doing all our somersaults and raising each other up so we can stand on mountains. You know how they raise people up on their hands and their feet like in those American cheerleading competitions. Guys and girls do it. We'd all be doing the big dance and cheering if they do this global uprising and stand up. It'd be just amazing. Oh, imagine us. Oh, but we'd have to do the face paint too and do the Braveheart face paint as well. Oh my God, I'm just seeing us in the grandstand. It's a pretty funny image, isn't it? God, I can't wait to see what evolves. It makes me feel really excited. It really does, that people are finally starting to see the truth, because it was like a battle that we fought for so long, wasn't it, where it just felt so complex, like nothing was ever we could never get that sort of concrete evidence, but now it's like it's rolling out really fast. Gosh, they're even talking about the how they're going to start, yes, down the East Coast. They're starting to change the cities. Isn't that funny? To a much more renewable sort of standard moving forward. So the smart cities are arriving now. Oh, great. More stuff rolling out. God, there's so much to deal with, isn't there? Meanwhile, the people still half don't have a clue. I just keep sharing things on my Facebook. I know you guys are. Because the smart cities are coming. Oh, yeah, they're coming. They're talking about it on TV. They just really don't use the word smart city because they don't seem to want to ring alarm bells to anyone. So they just say we're going to make our cities more sustainable, and like renewables will be introduced, and it's going to be much more practical moving forward. So it's so tricky when you watch them on the news and all their wording. They're very, very clever. It's all going to be for the greater good. We know that. The greater good of them. No one else. Certainly not the greater good of the peasants and the little people, as we always say here. I'll see where else we go today. Oh, and I got my new car yesterday. Oh my God. So maybe the flag, thanks flag, was a positive. And it also probably locked in about the Trudeau with the flag in his face. If you haven't seen that, God, go check it out. I could not stop from laughing. And it didn't just flip over his face. It like wrapped right around his face like it was trying to suffocate him. So thank you, flag. My flag dropped at the same time, and I did get my new car, so it was all positive. So yeah, that was really exciting. So I've got my new car to drive this morning. My daughter's so excited for me to drive her to school. Okay, let's see where else we get. Enough about me. I don't want to turn into Meghan Markle. We know that it's all about her. So I'll get back to all of us, not just me. Oh my gosh. If you've been watching those, it's crazy, isn't it? You just can't believe how it's just all about her. It's incredible. But always remember the royal distractions that I tell you about. They're very good in the UK with distractions with the royals. So, okay, let's see where else we go today. Speaking of, I'm getting Britain is rising. Oh, there's a lot of movement over there around the fight backs. There really is. People are starting to understand what's going on. And even though that you've got like government shifts, people are still, I guess people are kind of at that point where they're feeling like, how's anything going to change? Like, we all know, you get a new government leader and pretty much they're going to promise you the world. Look at Elbow, I call him Elbow, Albanese, our Prime Minister. He's done zero. He's taken us backwards, and now he's introducing the reset, as we all know. And it's just same old. They don't do anything. They promise the world and nothing ever changes. So I think people in the UK and all that are pretty aware, of what's happening over there. Not much is going to change. Well, it is going to change, but it's changing for the elites, not for the little people, as usual. Hang on a sec. Now it's showing me us. Now this is you if you're on my channel. We're setting up boundaries for ourselves now. And this is probably a good thing. I always talk about us protecting ourselves. But it's showing me that we're like doing like surveying. And you know how people do surveying and they look at the landscape or the lay of the land, don't they? I'm not really exactly sure what a surveyor does. I'm just guessing. They usually have their little camera things on a tripod or something, and they I don't really know what they're probably looking at. The typography, is it, of the land, the topography or something. But this is like what we're doing. We're like mapping out our space now. So we're setting up very good boundaries moving forward. And it's saying because we have to. And it's saying that we're like very professional at this now. Like we've become very professional. It's almost like they're saying that we've done like a degree in surveying, where we've done like our homework and we know how to navigate things and put this good firm like boundary around us and how to construct and build our life moving forward. And I think that's what the guides are really trying to say, that we've got a real grip and a handle on how to keep improving our life, not only as people but as creating future things. That's why the guides always talk to us about visualizing and manifesting and looking for signs and synchronicities. That's another way of doing it. And just tapping into those really like creative juices moving forward. But I am getting this like, it's sort of like a fence line if you think about it. It's like it's almost like, what it reminds me of is when you're putting the foundation of a house down, often you'll use your string line, is it, to get everything just accurate. Maybe we're all a bit OCD perfectionists here, I'm thinking, but we like to get things precision right. Like, so we've got like this string line, and it's like we've got the spray can, like the, what do you call it, the spray paint can, and we're like going along under the string line and we're doing our very, very straight. What it is saying is that we're laying out our foundation of our life moving forward. So we're really, what the guides are saying is we're doing all the prep work now for our life moving forward. That's what I'm getting. It's like we're creating a new build. If you think about building a new home or a structure, it could be a shed. It doesn't matter what you're building. In your mind, this is just a visual. We're creating our new structure of our life moving forward, and we're getting the foundation right. Unlike the global leaders who, like I always say, didn't get their foundation of their reset right because they didn't incorporate the people in their decision-making processes. So a lot of this is crumbling. Like I said, they're skating on thin ice. But we have built ourselves a very, very firm, or we are about to build ourselves. It's still in the very early stages where we're planning things out and we're constructing, what would you say, a good life moving forward for ourselves. But we're also containing, and when you think of a string line, it's got to be accurate because it's got to be like planned out, but it's also like a safe place. So things are going to be contained within this building structure. So that's what I'm getting for our lives. And I do think, if I just listening to you guys and the things that you say, we have contained our life. We had to condense and simplify our life. And I know I talk about that a lot. So we had to bring a lot of things in. You know, we weren't able to travel around the world and just go here, there, and everywhere. And we couldn't do a lot of things during those lockdown times. Oh, God, look at Melbourne. 2 years they were locked down. They couldn't even take their kids to the playground because he had ropes. He had put tape around to tie off the playgrounds and no one was allowed to use them. So this is what we're getting now. Like, we were restricted so much, but we got very creative in the simplified way that we had to live. And now we don't see it that way. It's kind of weird. I say it quite a lot here. It's like in that constriction of our life and with the walls coming closer to us during those lockdowns, literally, and things like that, we actually found freedom in that. And that's where it's so interesting, isn't it? We found our own internal freedom. And now I would say, personally, and I'm sure a lot of you would agree, we feel like we live from a much freer place now to what we did probably pre-pandemic. We've got rid of a lot of our hurts, emotions, our baggage, our angers, our fears. We've had to deal with a lot of things during this, and we've finally found this place of freedom. It's like bouncing on that trampoline yesterday that I talked about. We've found this childlike sense of wonder that has given us freedom, or we've given ourselves freedom back. And that's why we're called freedom fighters. That's why we're called the Mavericks and the Braveheart bikers. Oh my God. And the unidentified flying objects that zip away from government, because we have a way of finding our freedom all the time. We're always these naughty children sitting on the dunce chair, like I say, but it's a good place to be because we're independent of all the indoctrination. If you think of a classroom full of children, yes, there's a lot of indoctrination going on there right from an early age. So that's what I'm getting for us. We have managed to find that freedom in the restrictions, if that makes sense. I think it does. I think you guys understand what I'm saying here. I'll see if there's something to close with today. I'm getting these people waking up over here. They won't be belittled anymore. They feel like they've been really belittled, like they're stupid now. And we know that's what's going on. I keep saying it to you. These people are not in the mass psychosis for all of this that's rolling out. Renewables, energy, food, farms, health, every avenue and aspect of their life is being touched. And they now feel like government is belittling them and making out they're stupid. It is. And even the interest rate rises, like there's no excuse for putting interest rate rises up. They can't keep using a pandemic and the economy and all this, like, oh, we have to get the economy back on track and the only way we can do it is interest rate. Like, what absolute lies. It's lies, isn't it? And they know it now. So they're feeling like they're being belittled by government, like they're stupid. I mean, stop it. I know what you guys are thinking. No, but we have to allow for the mass psychosis, because that was a real mind trap that was like literally like hypnosis that trapped a lot of them in that narrative. We won't mention it. That shall not be named, or we all get fact checked. That particular mass psychosis was for the first stepping stone of the agenda, as we know here. But now these people feel like they're being belittled, they're just being made fools of. And look, that's what government's doing, isn't it? It's just laughing at them. God, when you see people interviewed, like I talk about Daniel Andrews here a lot because, you know, he's a bit of a tyrant. He's always laughing as he's talking. And, another classic one is Jacinda Ardern. As she's talking about some serious subject, she's laughing. You can hear and sense her laughter underneath. Just go watch some of their videos. You'll get what I'm saying. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of that. I am a person who really loves body language, and I've studied that sort of thing for a long time. And I've even got videos on body language if anybody's interested in those sort of things. Go and check out my playlist. But this is what I'm saying. Like, they're laughing at people, not us, because we're not even under their nose anymore. We've moved right away, so they don't really have much impact on us anymore. But these people, that's how they're feeling. They're feeling belittled, like they're the laughing stock. Like this is just becoming a big joke to government. Well, we know it is, because we know they're wanting to take everybody down to hit rock bottom and have nothing. That's right, own nothing and be happy. Imagine if we told these people and we sat them down and we all just stood up the front of the class and sat them all down in their school chairs and said, now, this is what's happening. The reset's coming out. Your life's going to be taken from you. You're going to have credit scoring. You're going to have to earn all your things. This is what's going to happen. They don't really want you driving electric cars, even though they're saying that. They actually don't want you driving around at all. Imagine if we told all these people the truth. Oh, God, wouldn't it be great to get the opportunity to tell them all that? But don't worry. They're figuring it out. It's not our job. We don't have to become the teacher. Because remember, we are kind of the teacher anyway, because I always say we're like this mirror reflection that reflects back to them that they were lied to. They were lied to on a large scale, and they know it. They do. They know it. We're all still here. It was all BS and garbage. Oh, now the CDC's coming out and saying everything, oh, they might have made a few little mistakes. Is that what you call ruining lives and people suiciding and, people vaccine injured? It's just a few little mistakes, is it? Oh, my God. How's this? I don't even get all this. It's just like scrambled eggs, isn't it? It's like someone cracked the egg and it's all just scrambled into a big, I guess you could say, omelette, the reset omelette. It's just a big mess of, how did we even get here? I don't even know. Anyway, let's see where else we go today, if there's anything to finish off. Yeah, there's going to be some real scandals coming out. I keep getting that. I've said there's going to be a couple of leaders or something with some scandals. I feel like there's going to be like these hidden messages or phone tapes or some corruption. It'll be corruption. We know it will, because there's that much corruption going on. Oh, they're so sneaky, aren't they? Imagine all the money that's exchanging hands. That's what makes me really sick, between Big Pharma and all the approval places. Like, FDA's one, isn't it? And, the CDC and APRA here. And I just can't cope with it all. It's just the corruption is rife. But I do get there's going to be a little bit of exposure around maybe a couple of these people in power or people in charge. And I still don't think it's going to be like the main honchos. That it's definitely not going to be the puppet masters, we know that, but it's not even going to be the like head honchos. I feel like this will be a little bit lower down because they've always got to have their little patsy that takes all the, wears all the heat of everything. So I do feel like that's what's going to happen. It'll be one of those a little bit lower down the chain of command of the reset, I do feel. But there will be like this exposure, and it'll be the something tapes like, the something tapes like the corruption tapes. It'll be something where there's actual evidence, and it'll be, people will be really horrified, and we will not be horrified, but the people waking up will be. They'll be very shocked at, oh my gosh, what has been going on here? It'll be another like red flag for them, an alarm bell going off. But, let's hope they dig more when it actually happens. I'll just see if there's something to finish off with today. I'm getting the song. I always get a song, don't I? I'm getting this song by the Beatles. Is it We Can Work It Out? We can work it out. We can work it out. Gotta see it my way. I think we should listen to that song today, because there could be something meaningful in there. We often get a little bit of meaning out of our songs. The guides seem to guide us to songs for a reason, don't they? But music is also a way that really uplifts our spirit. And we do have a laugh at some of the old songs and silly things that come on my channel, honestly. It's nuts, isn't it? So I'm getting that Beatles song. I'm guessing it's from our perspective, but maybe we go and listen to it and see what some of the words are in that. Beatles were great, weren't they? I'm sure it's a bit, yeah, it is the Beatles. Oh my God, you know me, I've got the worst memory when it comes to music and bands and things. I just get the tune, so I have to try and figure it out. So I'm going to leave you with that today. We'll go and listen to that song. I hope you guys have a great day. It's morning here. I'm just heading off to drop my daughter to school in my new car. So excited. All right, I'll say goodbye from Australia. Take care. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll chat to you this afternoon. Take care, everybody. Bye. Have a wonderful day.